Welcome back. The UND women's basketball team had a tough road trip out to Montana over the weekend, dropping contests at both Montana State and Montana. However, head coach Travis Brewster and his squad look to make a late season push as Big Sky play winds down, starting tonight with Weber State. For more on the Fighting Hawks, here's Alex Heinert with Coach Brew.
Thank you, Kelly. Talking UND women's basketball with head coach Travis Brewster, and Brew back home after a long sojourn to the mountains of Montana against Montana and Montana State. 2 games, 2 tough defeats for your team against the Lady Grizz and the Bobcats. Talk about the week.
You know, it's the first game, obviously, you travel out there, and we left a half day early just because that's just the way it is. You know, and how we practiced was very indicative of how we played. Sure. You know, and you got to have that focus when you're on the road, and that's a tough thing. The teams that can master, you know, getting in a routine on the road have greater success, right? And that's just been our Achilles heel all year long. We got to get better at that. And obviously that Montana game, you know, we got it dialed back in, I thought, and I liked how our team was executing. We still made, you know, had some miscues and things like that, but we were playing a lot harder and playing together, and you know, we gave ourselves a chance at the end, and you know, we got a look that we wanted, and we just didn't get the right read off of it, you know, and that happens, right? And that's part of the game, and you know, but you got to keep getting better. Right, and that's another step in this season, and you've talked a lot about how this team just needs to peak at the end of the season to be playing their best basketball when March comes around. When you go back to that Thursday game, you mixed up the lineup a little bit for both of these games this weekend, putting Faith Dooley in for the first start of the season. Just talk me through the rationale behind trying to give this team a little bit of a different look at the start of the contest. Well, Faith she's come in, obviously it's been 2 months, right? But the thing about it is she works extremely hard. Does she make mistakes? Sure. But the thing is, she plays for her teammates. She will physically put her will out there on somebody, and she plays physical. And I thought that was something we needed in our lineup, especially on the inside. But when you work that hard, you know, I believe in rewarding people that work hard and play for the right reasons. And you know what? Does she know every play that we have? Absolutely not. But she studies, and she's getting better with it. And you know, sometimes when you have a player that just wants to work that hard, that's contagious, and that's what we needed.
Yeah, the insertion of Faith helped on the glass in both of these games. Offensively, though, a bit of a struggle, especially in that Montana State game. Just had a hard time making shots, it felt like, in that contest against the Bobcats.
Well, we shot 19%. I mean, that's not just one person. That's understanding taking the right shots, you know, not settling for threes when you can take a 15-footer, powering up to make scores inside like we've done before. And so when you watch the video of it, and you can see that those are all things that we've done before, and you can see why we need to continue to do the right things. And the team, they watched the video as well, and they saw it, and so they've learned, and you know, we got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, Montana State gets the 72-56 win on Thursday. They're 34 of their last 35 in that building, so there's no shame losing to them out there, certainly. But you turn around, much better defensive effort against Montana on Saturday. Just a better overall performance, and a different story from the first time you played this Grizzly team here at home.
Well, you look at playing Montana in their gym. It's a tough place to play. It's historic as well, and you know, the crowd was, you know, obviously on their side, and but we played better. We just did from top to bottom. You know, was there things that we did at the wrong time? Sure, but you know, when you look at the effort from top to bottom, that gave us an opportunity, right? And you got to give yourself the best chance possible, and that's a tough place to play.
Yeah, you were trailing by 10 midway through the fourth quarter, and you just had a great comeback in that contest, led by kind of the typical suspects, Fallon Frigie and Lexi Claybo coming up big down the stretch. Fallon was playing through an injury and still manages to go for 19 and 10. Great heart shown by her, like she's done all season.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that toughness thing is great for her, and you look at Lexi, and you know, she's been double teamed all year, and that's a tough thing. It wears you down, you know, and now you got Fallon all of a sudden saying, hey, watch this. And you know, I was proud of them for their effort, you know, and we got to continue to build on that. But you know, you look at Fallon and Lexi, and they've been that way for us all year long. So we got to keep them going, get some other ones going as well.
Montana hits a big shot at the end of the contest, which was well defended. It wasn't like that Taylor Goligoski was wide open on the wing. Just a big shot by a good player to end up giving them a 2-point victory. Now you get to come back home where you've been very good this season, 8-2 in the year here at the Betty. A couple tough opponents though, the league leaders in Weber State coming to town, and an Idaho State team that always plays that tough, physical, defensive style of basketball. What needs to happen this weekend to pick up a couple of wins?
Well, for us, first and foremost, the biggest thing is we have to set the tempo and the tone on how we want to play the games. Obviously, Weber's winning the league for a reason. Very fast team, very athletic, so we got to slow them down. Then you turn around, you almost have to play the opposite style of ball where you got to speed up a little bit against Idaho State. So, you know, it's one game at a time, but the biggest thing is we have to execute our stuff, you know, and we got to stay in tune to what's going on the floor. We can't get caught up in anything that's going on around us. We got to stay focused, and the other part about it is you got to understand, you know, it's okay to make shots, right? Yeah. It's okay. Move the ball, knock down open jumpers, and enjoy that part of that game.
A couple good teams coming to town. 7 o'clock on Thursday against Weber State here at the Betty. 2 o'clock on Saturday. Both games live on Midco Sports Network, but get out and support this team in person. Coach Brew, thanks again for the time. Best of luck this week.
Yep, appreciate it.
Travis Brewster, everybody. Kelly, back to you.
All right, thanks, Alex. Like he said, the Wildcats and the Fighting Hawks tip off in just a few minutes at 7 p.m., and that game is going to be right here on Midco SN. Coming up after the break, we'll preview our other live game tonight, Oral Roberts at NDSU in women's hoops. Stay right here.